Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another podcast here at English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we're looking at another one of our lessons for English of the past decades. And this time it's the 1990s.
Well, the 1990s is a little easier for most of us to remember.
Yeah, I guess it's a little bit more recent. We're going to be looking at a lot of language that is still used today. Most of these words and phrases are still used today, so they're going to be very useful, and you're going to sound a lot more native.
A lot cooler as well, huh?
Right. So before we get started with this lesson, why don't we take a look at vocabulary preview?
Vocabulary preview.
We have two words we're going to hear in the dialogue. Now, the first one is a mall.
A mall.
M-A-L-L, mall.
All right, so a mall is basically short for shopping mall.
And a shopping mall is a big building with many stores inside.
Right, so it's like a shopping center. And our last word for vocabulary preview is gang.
The gang.
The gang.
Okay, so a gang is a group of people, right?
Yeah, it's a group of people. You can call your friends the gang. We're going to go out with the gang tonight.
Yep. Now, we sometimes hear this word and it has a negative meaning, right?
Right, like street gangs.
Yeah, so people who fight and deal drugs and all that sort of stuff.
Right, so it can have a negative and a positive meaning, but it just depends on how you use it.
Yeah, but in the dialogue, we'll hear it with a positive meaning.
Right. So that's all the words we have for vocabulary preview. Let's listen to this cool and hip dialogue from the 1990s, and we'll come back later and explain some words.
Hey, Four Eyes. What's up, man? How have you been?
Not bad. Just went to the mall and picked up some junk. Check out my new Adidas.
Those are dope. You are gonna be getting mad props from the gang, man. Anyways, have you seen Betty lately?
Dude, don't even go there. That girl started tripping because I went to the movies with Veronica the other day. I was like, look, you knew how I was before you got with me.
That's right. You are such a player, man. Dude, there's Mad Max. Let's go say hi.
Max, what's up? Are you okay? You look like you just saw a ghost.
I got an F in English class. My life is over.
Dude, get over it. You need to lay off the books for a while and have some fun. Come on, let's bounce.
Where are we going? Oh crap. My dad is gonna go postal when he finds out about this.
I'm gonna open the can of whoop-ass on you if you don't come with me right now.
Okay. Jeez.
Well, it sounds like this guy's got some problems at school, huh?
Yeah, he got an F on his paper, but you always can count on your friends to try and cheer you up by doing something.
Yeah, but they use some really great phrases and vocabulary words, so why don't we look at those now in Language Takeaway?
Language takeaway.
All right, on Language Takeaway, we're going to be looking at 5 words. And, well, let's start with the first one.
So the guy was talking about his really cool new shoes, his new Adidas, right? And his friend said, those are dope.
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 Okay, so it's pretty easy to understand when something is dope.
It's really awesome.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's great.
Right, it's great. So that's dope.
And it's an adjective, right? So his friend said those are dope, and he said, you're going to be getting mad props from the gang.
Okay, so mad props.
Mad props.
We can divide this word in two. So let's take a look at the first part, mad.
Mad.
So we understand that mad is angry, right?
Yeah, but it can also mean a lot,
Or
right?
like amazing.
Or really.
So if I say you have mad skills.
You're really good at something. Or you can say she has a mad amount of shoes.
All right. So he's going to get mad props. Now props is like respect or compliments.
Yeah. So his shoes are so cool that he's going to get a lot of respect or a lot of compliments from his friends.
Exactly. Mad props.
Mad props.
So they started talking about girls, and he mentioned that this girl started tripping.
Trippin'.
Tripping.
So to trip.
Right. As you notice, it's trippin'. It doesn't have the G at the end, which isn't really grammatically correct, but that's kind of the way it's pronounced.
Yeah, we would never say the G.
Right. So if somebody is trippin',
They're getting really upset. They're getting really angry.
right, they're causing trouble. So why don't we listen to a couple of examples of how we could use trippin' for different situations?
Example 1.
Leanne was tripping because I got dirt on her car.
Example 2.
Even though I apologized for calling her fat, Jeannie was tripping all night.
Example 3.
He sent me 43 text messages and called me about 20 times. That guy is tripping over me.
Okay, so that's pretty clear. Trippin'.
All right. Now moving on to our next word. They wanted to go somewhere, and he said, come on, let's bounce.
Let's bounce.
Let's bounce.
I'm gonna bounce.
Now, bounce basically means let's leave.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
But we might be more familiar with this word as in like a ball, right? A ball bounces off the floor.
Exactly. So I guess it's kind of the same. You kind of bounce off the floor and leave that place.
Yeah.
Let's bounce.
Okay, so for our final word, now this guy who got a bad mark on his paper, he was nervous about what his dad would say, right?
Right?
Because his dad was going to go postal.
He said, my dad is gonna go postal.
To go postal.
Now, if you go postal, it means you go crazy.
Yeah, you really freak out.
You get very angry.
Yeah, like really angry.
This word comes from the 90s because during a time it was very common in the United States that postal workers, mailmen, were going a little bit crazy, and they started shooting people and delivering some strange packages.
Well, I guess so people who work in the post office maybe don't have the most exciting jobs, and that drives them a little crazy.
Exactly. But now they have a term named after them. All right, so why don't we listen to our dialogue for the second time? We're going to slow it down a little bit, and then we'll come back.
Hey, Four Eyes. What's up, man? How have you been?
Not bad. Just went to the mall and picked up some junk. Check out my new Adidas.
Those are dope. You are gonna be getting mad props from the gang, man. Anyways, have you seen Betty lately?
Dude, don't even go there. That girl started tripping because I went to the movies with Veronica the other day. I was like, look, you knew how I was before you got with me.
That's right. You are such a player, man. Dude, there's Mad Max. Let's go say hi.
Max, what's up? Are you okay? You look like you just saw a ghost.
I got an F in English class. My life is over.
Dude, get over it. You need to lay off the books for a while and have some fun. Come on, let's bounce.
Where are we going? Oh, crap. My dad is gonna go postal when he finds out about this.
I'm gonna open the can of whoop-ass on you if you don't come with me right now.
Okay. Jeez.
Okay, so I think that was a little easier to understand. We've got a lot of pretty strange words and phrases, some interesting slang.
Yeah, and I want to take a look at this slang now, so let's get started with Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
Okay, so the guy with the new shoes, he asked his friends, have you seen Betty lately, right?
Right?
And his friend replied, don't even go there.
Right. He was like, dude, don't even go there.
Don't even go there.
So what does he mean when he says, don't even go there?
He means don't talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
Right. Don't even touch that subject.
Don't even mention it.
Right. So if somebody wants to talk about a topic that you think is sensitive or you don't want to talk about, just say, hey, don't even go there.
So, Marco, what do you think about the new tax law?
Don't even go there. I don't even want to talk about politics.
Okay, so I think that's a really actually quite helpful phrase to avoid talking about an uncomfortable subject.
Right. So he said, don't even go there. And he started talking about the girl and she was tripping. And then he said something interesting. He said, I was like, look, you knew how I was before you got with me.
Yeah, I really like this phrase. Now, I want to focus on the first part. I was like.
I was like.
I was like.
Now, you might hear a lot of native English speakers use these three words before they start telling you what they said. Mm-hmm. So it's like saying, I said, or I told him.
Yep. So this actually is really common, especially with people under the age of 30. So why don't we hear a few more examples of how it's used now?
Example 1.
This guy caused a car accident, and I was like, you idiot! You can kill people by driving like that.
Example 2.
And then I was like, I hate you. And she was all like, I hate you more.
Example 3.
I told the teacher that I didn't finish my homework, and he was like, I'll see you after school.
So if you're telling a story or you're maybe talking to somebody and you want to explain what you said, you can say, I was like, hey, what are you doing? And she was like, what? So you can have an entire dialogue based with I was like, she was like, we were like.
Uh-huh. Okay, so I was like, it's super, super useful. So now our next word. Now they saw their friend who got the bad mark in school, and the guy said, dude, get over it.
Get over it.
Get over it.
So if somebody tells you to get over it.
Stop worrying about it.
Okay. Or
stop thinking about it.
All right. So if somebody is sad because maybe his girlfriend broke up with him, you would say,
get over it.
Yeah, stop thinking about it. Let it go. It's in the past.
Yeah, and you commonly use this for when somebody is upset about a small thing, something they shouldn't worry about.
Mm-hmm. Get over it.
Yep. Now, why don't we go on to our final word? At the end of the dialogue, they said, I'm going to open a can of whoop ass.
Okay, so to open a can of whoop ass on somebody.
To open a can of whoop ass.
So again, let's break this down before we explain it.
Okay, I think we have to take one step back here. To whoop someone's ass is to beat them up, right?
Right.
To punch them and hurt them.
Right, so to whoop somebody's ass.
Mm-hmm.
So if I open a can of whoop ass, what does that mean?
It means you're going to beat them up.
So it's just a funny, very informal way of saying, like, in this can, I'm going to open it and I'm going to start hitting you or something like that.
Some sort of small man is going to jump out of the can and start hitting you.
Exactly. But it's never literal. It's not like you're actually going to beat somebody up. It's just kind of
it's
like
kind of a joke.
Yeah, it's an empty threat.
Yeah.
All right, so some really interesting words and phrases in this dialogue. I think we should listen to it for the last time, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more about this great decade.
Hey, Four Eyes. What's up, man? How have you been?
Not bad. Just went to the mall and picked up some junk. Check out my new Adidas.
Those are dope. You are gonna be getting mad props from the gang, man. Anyways, have you seen Betty lately?
Dude, don't even go there. That girl started tripping because I went to the movies with Veronica the other day. I was like, look, you knew how I was before you got with me.
That's right. You are such a player, man. Dude, there's Mad Max. Let's go say hi.
Max, what's up? Are you okay? You look like you just saw a ghost.
I got an F in English class. My life is over.
Dude, get over it. You need to lay off the books for a while and have some fun. Come on, let's bounce.
Where are we going? Oh crap. My dad is gonna go postal when he finds out about this.
I'm gonna open the can of whoop ass on you if you don't come with me right now.
Okay. Jeez.
Well, Marco, in the dialogue, I heard one of the guys say, "What's up?" But he said it in a really strange way, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. He said, "What's up?"
Okay, so what's up with that?
So in the 90s, it was popular instead of saying "what's up," you would just kind of double the S and just say "what's up." And then it became very famous with a TV commercial for a certain beer.
And actually, I remember this commercial during the Super Bowl. They had this big commercial where everyone was saying "what's up" in this really strange way, right?
It's still used today informally between friends. You'll go, "Hey, what's up?" and "what's up?"
Yeah, and
So you'll use it.
yeah, so the commercial made it actually quite cool and famous to talk like that.
Actually, in Spanish Pod, they have a show called "Que pasa," which is like the translation of "what's up."
Oh,
and
right.
They start each show with like saying "Que pasa," but it's exactly the same. So maybe it will become popular in Spanish.
Maybe, but I guess only.
Time will tell.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so really cool stuff. And as we heard, typical music from the 90s. And another interesting thing was the nicknames. Four Eyes, Mad Max, very popular among young kids.
So remember, if you have any questions about this language or anything else about this lesson,
You can leave all your questions and comments, and we hope to see you guys there.
so thanks for listening, and until next time, goodbye.
Bye.
Hi, welcome. Are you ready to listen to our story? Today, I want to take you back to a time before smartphones, social media, and streaming. It was the 1990s, a loud, colorful, and unforgettable decade. Back then, I was just a teenager figuring out life one slang word at a time. You see, the 90s weren't just about boy bands or baggy jeans. They were about how we talked, how we connected, and how we expressed ourselves. I still remember the first time I walked into the mall with my brand new sneakers. They were black and white Adidas, super clean, and trust me, everyone noticed. As soon as I met my friends at the food court, the first thing my buddy said was, "Dude, those kicks are dope." Now, if you're learning English, you might wonder, what does dope mean? No, it's not just a drug reference. In 90s slang, dope meant awesome, cool, impressive. So, when someone said your sneakers were dope, you felt proud. And it didn't stop there. He added, "You're gonna get mad props, man." That made me feel like a rock star. Mad props means serious respect. Imagine walking into a room and everyone claps for you just because you showed up looking fresh. That's mad props. It was more than words, it was about how we felt. We used slang to lift each other up. Even today, I use dope when I see something amazing. Like, that movie was dope, or your English skills are getting dope. These are the kind of expressions that make your English feel more natural and confident. Now, here's something fun to try. Pick one object you really like, maybe your phone, a new bag, your haircut, and describe it using dope. For example, "My haircut is dope today." Go ahead, say it out loud. It might feel strange at first, but it helps you sound more fluent. That day at the mall was just the beginning. We talked, we joked, and we threw around 90s slang like it was a secret code. To us, speaking like that wasn't just fun, it was a way to fit in, to belong, and to show we were part of something bigger. Later that same afternoon, we all headed outside, sitting on the steps in front of the arcade, sipping sodas and laughing about everything. That's when someone asked, "Hey, have you seen Lisa lately?" And without even thinking, I said, "Dude, don't even go there." Now, let me break that phrase down for you because it's powerful and useful in so many situations. When someone says "don't even go there," they're telling you not to bring up a topic because it's too personal, painful, or just annoying. It's like saying, "Let's not talk about that, okay?" For example, if a friend says, "So, how was your job interview?" and it went terribly, you might just sigh and say, "Ooh, don't even go there." See? It's real, emotional, and sounds just like native speakers. Anyway, everyone laughed when I said that. They knew something had gone down between me and Lisa. It was one of those teenage drama stories to many text messages, misunderstandings, and one bad date. I remember telling my friend, man, she was totally trippin'. Now here's another slang gem for you, trippin'. Not tripping with a G, no. In the 90s, we dropped the G and kept it casual. She was trippin' means she was overreacting, getting upset for no good reason, being dramatic. So when I said she was trippin' because I talked to her sister, my friends totally got it. Trippin' was a word we used all the time. Don't trip meant relax. Why are you trippin'? Meant why are you making this a big deal? It's playful, but also very natural. Want to practice it. Imagine someone yelling because the bus is late. You can say, dude, stop trippin', the bus will come. So we're sitting there talking about who's trippin' and who's not. When I said, I was like, look, you knew how I was before you got with me. That phrase, I was like, it's more than words. It's rhythm. It's storytelling. Instead of saying, I said to her, we just said, I was like, and followed it with the quote. Try this. Think of a short story from your day. Now, instead of saying I said, try I was like. For example, I was like, can I get a coffee? Or he was like, we're closed. It adds a natural tone and makes your English sound more real. That moment us sitting on those steps, swapping stories, laughing hard, it was more than just slang. It was life. Words like dope, mad props, trippin', and I was like weren't just cool. They were how we connected, how we joked, how we supported each other. And that day, we were about to have one more reason to use another classic word because the night was just getting started. Just as the sky turned that deep orange color you only see in late summer, someone shouted, "Yo, let's bounce!" That one word bounce meant everything. It didn't mean jump up and down like a basketball. In 90s slang, bounce meant let's go, let's leave, let's get out of here. So when someone said let's bounce, it wasn't a suggestion. It was the start of an adventure. I stood up, brushed the dust off my jeans, and said, yeah, let's bounce. No one asked where we were going. That was part of the fun. We just knew it was time to move. If you ever feel stuck in a boring place or just want to sound smooth when leaving, use that phrase. Say, all right, guys, I'm gonna bounce, or this party is dead, let's bounce. So we jumped on our bikes and headed to Max's place. Max was part of the Gank Wyatt, always wore a hoodie, but cool in his own way. When we arrived, he looked pale, like he saw a ghost. What's wrong? I asked. He sighed, held up a paper, and said, I got an F in English class. At first, we just stared at him. An F, that felt like the end of the world back then. Max dropped onto the porch and put his head in his hands. My dad is gonna go postal, he whispered. Now, if you're not familiar with that phrase, go postal means to lose control emotionally, usually with anger. It doesn't mean your dad works at the post office. It's an old American slang term that came from real events, but people used it to say someone was going to flip out or explode in rage. So when Max said, my dad is gonna go postal, he meant his dad was going to be really, really angry. Want to use that in daily life. Say something like, my boss is gonna go postal if I'm late again, or mom will go postal if she sees my room right now. It sounds dramatic, and that's the fun of it. I looked at Max and said, man, get over it. That's another phrase we used a lot. Get over it means stop worrying, stop being sad, move on. It's not always kind, but with close friends, it's how we encouraged each other to not let one thing ruin the day. So I said it again, but this time softer. Max, get over it. Come with us. Let's just ride around, clear your head. He smiled a little, and suddenly we were all laughing again. In just 5 minutes, we'd gone from stress to smiles because the right words, the right tone, and the right people can change everything. Slang wasn't just street talk. It was our way of surviving growing up, of showing love without saying I care. We said it with mad props, bounce, trippin', and get over it. And that night, we were about to throw in one more phrase, a phrase so wild, it still makes me laugh today. As we cruised through the streets on our bikes, laughing and shouting, the air felt electric. No phones, no GPS, just freedom and a good group of friends. We stopped at a corner store, grabbed some sodas, and sat on the curb, legs stretched out like we owned the whole city. That's when Max, still worried about his F, muttered, "Man, my dad's gonna open a can of Woo Pass on me." We all cracked up. That phrase, open a can of Woo Pass, was gold in the 90s. It sounded violent, but honestly, we used it mostly as a joke. It means someone is going to punish you hard, maybe yell at you, ground you, or make your life miserable. It's super informal and often exaggerated. You're not really opening a can or fighting anyone, but the phrase makes it sound dramatic and funny. You can use it like this. If I forget my keys again, my sister's gonna open a can of Woo Pass on me, or the coach opened a can of Woo Pass on the team after they lost. It adds flavor and humor to storytelling. After the laughter settled, I looked at Max and said, "Come on, man. You gotta laugh about it or it'll eat you alive." That's something I learned in those years. Life throws crazy things your way, bad grades, broken friendships, embarrassing moments, but if you can laugh, even just a little, you've already won. And then came the moment that sealed that night in our memories. A guy in a leather jacket walked past and said, "What's up?" for eyes. To my buddy Dan, who wore thick glasses, that name for eyes wasn't meant to hurt. In our group, nicknames were a sign of friendship. We gave each other names like Mad Max, Speedy, for eyes, and Short Fuse. They made us feel like characters in our own movie. If you hear a nickname like that, remember, in English-speaking cultures, friends often tease each other playfully. It's part of bonding, but tone is everything. If it sounds mean, it probably is, but when it's said with a smile and a laugh, it usually means you're accepted. Nicknames also help learners understand the culture. So, next time someone calls you something funny, if it's said in a kind voice, just smile and roll with it. That's what we did. As the night grew darker, we started telling stories from school who had a crush on who cheated on the math test, and how one of us once accidentally sent a love letter to the wrong girl. We were all that and a bag of chips, or at least we thought so. That was another wild phrase from back then. It meant you were the best, confident, full of swagger. Like saying, "I'm awesome," and then some. You can try it too. Say it with pride. "I'm all that and a bag of chips." It's silly, sure, but confidence is half the language game. Speak with energy, play with the phrases, and don't worry if it feels strange at first. Because when you speak English with heart, even slang becomes poetry. And that night, under the streetlight glow, surrounded by laughter and stories, our slang became our soundtrack. We stayed out way past the time we were supposed to be home. The stars were sharp above us, and the air had that perfect late-night chill. We were walking our bikes now, not in a rush to go anywhere, just talking, laughing, and soaking up every second. At one point, someone said, "Yo, remember when Chris got mad props for that beatbox battle at school?" Everyone started cracking up again. That phrase never got old. Mad props. It's more than just slang. It's about showing big respect, giving someone credit when they do something cool. When you say mad props, you're saying, "Hey, that was impressive, and I see you." You can use it anytime someone does a good job. Mad props to you for learning this much English. Mad props to my friend for helping me study. It's simple, but powerful. Then someone brought up a girl we all liked, and I said, "Nah, don't even go there." That line always got a laugh. These phrases weren't just things we said, they were tools. They helped us deal with feelings we didn't know how to express. Instead of saying, I'm uncomfortable talking about that, we'd say, don't even go there. It was faster, cooler, and felt just right. I thought about how we all had our roles. Max was the quiet one, Dan was the joker, and me, I guess, I was the one who kept the crew together. Even when someone was trippin', like totally overreacting, I'd say, hey, get over it. Not because I didn't care, but because sometimes you've got to help people move forward. And sometimes, when things got too serious, we'd just say, let's bounce and go do something fun. Looking back now, I see how those slang words were little pieces of freedom. They helped us find our voices. They gave us courage. They made us feel cool even when we were confused, scared, or completely lost in the chaos of growing up. And for anyone learning English now, I want to tell you this language isn't just about grammar or tests. It's about connection. It's about using your words to express who you are. Don't be afraid to try new phrases, to sound a little different, to play with rhythm and tone. The more you do, the more natural you'll become. So go ahead, say something's dope. Give someone mad props. If something's too much, say they're trippin'. And when it's time to go, just say, let's bounce. Because every word you learn, every phrase you master is a step toward confidence. And in the end, confidence is what makes your English not just correct, but powerful. Thank you for being a part of the Best English Podcast Zone.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. Recognition, informal.
Mad props.
Slang way of saying I'm the best and more.
All that in a bag of chips.
Being agitated, upset.
Tripping.
Wearing gold or precious stones.
Bling bling.
Informal of saying let's go.
Bounce.
Something is cool, it's great.
The bomb.
To act violently or aggressively.
Go postal.
Expression used to say my mistake or I'm sorry.
My bad.
An informal way to introduce a piece of dialogue.
I was like,
That sounds good to me. I agree.
I'm down with that.
What's up?
What's up?
Let's try that faster. Slang way of saying I'm the best and more.
All that in a bag of chips.
Wearing gold or precious stones.
Bling bling.
To act violently or aggressively.
Go postal.
Informal of saying let's go.
Bounce.
What's up?
What's up?
Something is cool. It's great.
The bomb.
That sounds good to me. I agree.
I'm down with that.
An informal way to introduce a piece of dialogue.
I was like,
Recognition, informal.
mad props.
Expression used to say my mistake or I'm sorry.
My bad.
Being agitated, upset.
Tripping.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Mad props. Mad props to Christopher for that burger he made. It was amazing. Mad props. You have to give mad props to the creator of this site. It looks great. Mad props. I got mad props for the speech I gave yesterday. Everyone was impressed. I was like, this guy caused a car accident, and I was like, you idiot. You can kill people by driving like that. I was like, and then I was like, I hate you. And she was all like, I hate you more. I was like, I told the teacher that I didn't finish my homework, and he was like, I'll see you after school. Bounce. Come on, let's bounce. I have to be home soon. Bounce. Alright, guys, I have to bounce. I'll see you later. Bounce. I am getting a bit tired of this party. Let's bounce. Tripping. Leanne was tripping because I got dirt in her car. Tripping. Even though I apologized for calling her fat, Jeannie was tripping all night. Tripping. He sent me 43 text messages and called me about 20 times. That guy is tripping over me. Go postal. I was so angry at work with the new workload, I was afraid I'd go postal. Go postal. Don't tease Carl right now. He might go postal. Go postal. My ex-girlfriend went postal on me when I broke up with her.